Hello everyone, I'm Romain Vaillant and I'm going to talk about CRDTs for truly concurrent file systems. In this paper, we present our work about building a highly available geo-distributed file system using only conflict-free replicated data types that don't need any form of synchronization. Today, FastM are probably the most used tool to share, edit and store information. While at first they were designed to work locally only, file systems that span multiple clusters across the world are widely common. Although they are very different to what we had, they still need to support legacy applications and command interface, such as POSIX. You can't expect applications to adapt to the specific behavior of your file system. These geo-distributed file systems also have a bit fair requirement. They need to provide low response time across the globe, be always available, even under network partition, and be able to support an ever-growing amount of data. High availability and low response time can be solved by building a weakly consistent system. However, this comes at a cost. To name a few, at least for file systems, you can have name conflicts, two files or folders created with the same name, divergent rename, moving the same file to two different places, or cycles, renaming one folder into another, and some other that I won't go through here. But first, let's focus on a common issue, name conflicts. In this scenario, Alice and Bob are far apart and can't communicate outside of the file system. They both create a file under the same folder with the same name. Once the connectivity goes back, what should happen? A common way to solve this problem is to use synchronization. We won't accept the creation of the file unless we have exclusive access to the parent folder. Not only this creates a contention point, in our example here, but Alice and Bob wouldn't have been able to use the service, because when there is no connectivity, synchronization is not possible. Existing cloud services solve this by renaming files. Taking our previous example, this would be like having a final state with report MD1 and report MD2. Most of them do this consistently, with an exception of Google Drive, which might present different results to different users. Unfortunately, renaming file is not really intuitive, because you need to know how the system will behave to predict it, and you don't necessarily that your file will be named as you expect. And you can't even know when this will happen. Furthermore, if your application is using implicit file, let's say a recover file, renaming from the underlying system will likely block them at an expected time. What we would like in our system is a system where user can build a simple mental model of the behavior. There is no need to know how it works or having to predict it. Avoid after the fact corrections. No one likes folder or file jumping around while browsing, and prevent legacy applications from breaking when updates are merged by the system. To allow users to use their application in a shared workspace seamlessly, we think that those 3 points are very important. In our CRDT file system, LMRFS, we have the old concept of views. The system always favors the user performing the request and will show what's the best for the requester. If we take back our example, here both Alice and Bob will see their own file named as report.md, and the conflicting file as if a new file arrived at a different time with a different name. At this point, it is important to note that while the views are not the same, the state of the file system is. Names shown to the user here are only part of the interface. CRDT are perfect for solving this kind of problem because it's type that can accept independent and concurrent updates without any form of coordination. You can have two nodes given the same set of unordered updates, and they will converge to the same state no matter what. This is the strongest form of eventual consistency. With this property, you can have optimistic replication also. So you accept the update locally and dispatch it asynchronously. This gives you a very good response time because you can just apply it locally and reply to the request immediately. Whatever happens elsewhere, you don't care because the state will converge. So let's take a simple CRDT, a set. CRDTs come in a multiple flavor, and for sets you can have, for example, add win semantic or remove win semantic. With add wins, concurrent adds and removes will only honor the add. On the left, the concurrent add and remove operation for the same elements leads to only the add being taken into account. On the right, however, it's the reverse. Only the remove is taken into account and the add is ignored. The most straightforward way would be to use this kind of set to represent our directories. Simply storing a set of tuples, with each tuple representing a named reference in the file system. But while we will have the set that converge correctly, this doesn't solve any problem, because as before you will end up with two files with the same name under the same folder. Again, you will still have a mechanism, you will need a mechanism to detect this situation, and then to fix it you will have to perform more operations until the state goes back to something that is correct. Our approach in AlmaFS is to augment our tuple with a unique ID, a view ID. There is a strong requirement of this ID to be unique. When a user performs a request, we implicitly associate it with a view ID. When the set converges, we can still recover the information on who created the reference without doing anything. And we can match this request view ID with what we have in our state. On the interface side, the system will detect that Bob tries to refer to his file either by only specifying the name, report ND, or by also specifying the specific view ID in this case, report ND, Bob. In that case, after merging updates, user can resolve conflict simply by doing anything they want using standard FS operations. Or simply, if they want, they can do nothing and continue to work as normal. If Bob was using his application, for example, merging conflicting updates won't affect the application because from Bob's point of view, none of its files change, and for the application it's the same. So now, let's focus a bit on another problem, divergent renames. In traditional file systems, renaming is exclusive. In a weakly consistent file system, however, it is possible to have two users wanting to rename the same file concurrently. This situation acts as if someone just created a reference. Two directories entries are now referring to the same file. In a local file system, this is perfectly fine, for file at least. However, creating a reference is problematic because you can't use reference counting. Imagine two nodes wanting to read and only then increment the counter to the next value. It's a classical REST scenario. To keep the counter valid, you need synchronization. But it's not the end of all, because fortunately for transaction you can use CRDTs have transaction also. You can update multiple CRDTs together inside a unique transaction. You can use our reference format and keep another set that we associate to our entities, but we will update alongside the rename, NKD or mknode operations. So here we can see that both what the set will look like after a rename. A divergent rename. The original reference have been removed correctly, both operations deleted the same tuple, and in both cases they deleted the same tuple with the same view ID that they saw in the state. But since each request have a different view ID because it's unique, and in the best case you also have a different name, the two new tuples will be different. So the final set will have both values being added, no matter what. In POSIX folder, you can't have multiple references. If it is a requirement, we can simply add another CRDT that stores only the last reference that was created. That way, the last value of this CRDT will be the true parent. There are other problems, some of which we go in more detail in the paper. To name one again, you have deletion of inodes, for example, which is a tricky topic because you need to ensure that at a point in time, the inode won't be referenced by anyone. And content conflict also, you can have, when you have a content conflict, you either need to merge the content with a specialized CRDT or bubble it up and act as if there were a name conflict. To build this system, we base our work on Anti.db, an open source CRDT database, which offers geo-replication and interactive transaction. LMFS, our file system, is also available on GitHub. It's written in the Rust language and exposes a Fuse interface. From this solution, it is important to remember that CRDTs ensure that the state will converge, but not that the state is correct for the application. In our example, just using a set CRDT wasn't enough. As a designer, you need to think on how operation interacts and use a proper CRDT to solve your problems. Ideally, you will be able to use a set of CRDTs and combine them for the application's need. And if it's necessary, only this time you can use synchronization at the cost of availability and performance. This is called the just right consistency. We think that CRDTs are a great fit for building geo-distributed file system. There are still some problems to solve, like cycles or space reclamations. Cycles, we started implementing 3 CRDTs, and we also need experiments on the interface side to know if the results are intuitive or not in comparison to other systems, and on the performance characteristics, of course. We'd like to compare LMFS with existing file system, both strongly consistent one and with the similar cloud services. Our current issue is that the implementation still lacks optimization for traditional file systems. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will be here after to answer them.